We all know how important it is leading a healthy lifestyle and prioritizing our physical well-being in order for us to stay healthy both in the short term and in the long term. Still, many of us struggle to find solutions, find the time, find motivation to incorporate healthy habits into our everyday life. And I think we all in this conference today wants to find out new ways to get more insights and get to know more tools on how we can help the public health promoting physical activity. That is why I'm truly honored in having this opportunity, meeting you all here today, talking about more on how Sweden has used fiscal incentives in order for us to promote the public health and to share our insights with you today. Both looking at how the current fiscal incentives work in Sweden, what is it defined as, how does it work, what can you use it for. We call this a wellness grant. So we're going to learn more of how much an employee can offer tax-free per year, but also what it is used for. And since we're all working with human beings, we face different challenges, but with the challenges always comes great opportunities. So of course, we're going to look at how I think we as a sector can work to help more people getting the benefits of being physically active, both for their physical health and their mental health. Me, who will be presenting this today, my name is P.O. Osbeck, and I'm a business unit manager within the magnificent company Eleiko. Here, as we've been striving since 1963, helping more people getting the benefits of being stronger so they can perform better in their sports and in life. And we have been working with this for quite some time, helping individuals, organizations, companies, and fitness clubs all around the world, providing them with premium quality lifting equipment. At the end of this presentation, you can both get my contacts if you have any additional information I can help you with, or help you find the right type of information for your question, and also the links to our national association, where you can find out more about how Sweden working in the topic of promoting our public health. So once again, very welcome. And during the last 30 years, we have had a very positive trend and development in Sweden when it comes to what type of activities that are offered. We have had a great fitness trend where more people are starting to get the benefits and finding out the benefits of being physically active. And in Sweden today, we have the highest gym penetration in the whole European Union, alongside with Germany, and that is approximately 22% of the population have a gym membership card. And that is arranged of over 1,700 different clubs all around Sweden. And one of the key reasons why we have such a high penetration is, one thing, we have a quite low watt system when it comes to the taxes around physical activity. It's 6%. But also, and one of the key things here, is the wellness grant. The wellness grant is today offered by approximately 95% of employers all around Sweden. So I would say that almost every company have some form of wellness grant they can offer. One thing to know is that this is totally optional, so you don't have to offer the wellness grant as a benefit to your employees. But as you can see, a lot of companies does so. And one of the key things to know when it comes to the wellness grant is that it's a fixed amount that you can offer, and also it has to be communicated in a way that it benefits the whole staff. But more on that later. I thought we should start by just looking at how was it introduced, why was it introduced, and when. And as I said, we have had a positive development when it comes to physical activity in Sweden during the last 30 years. And the wellness grant was actually introduced in the late 1980s. In 1988, the Swedish government voted for this type of wellness reform. And it was currently updated to its current level in 2003. And the key purpose with why we got it in the first place was that we wanted to find, or the Swedish government wanted to find, a reasonable balance between employees being in good physical and mental balance. That means having good personal care, and at the same time not subsidizing any personal living expenses without any tax consequences for the employees. So those were the two reasons why we implemented the wellness grant in Sweden. And the rules that now are valid, well, they have been around since almost 2003. And you might wonder, how is then the wellness grant defined? What is within that box that we say is the wellness grant? Well, it has to be of less economic value and with the purpose of promoting the well-being among the employees. That means almost ever it's been focusing on being proactive health. You cannot use it for any reactive health. It has to be always focused on proactive health. We're going to talk more about that later on. And each employer decides for themselves if they want to offer it and also to what type of amount. The average amount that is being used is 300 euros per employee per year, tax-free. But you can offer it up to 500 euros per year per employee, tax-free. But that is totally optional. Each company decides for themselves how much. So often we see something in the range of 150 euros up to 500 euros. And the average here in Sweden is 300, looking across the different companies that are working in this country. What is also good to know is that you can, of course, use it as a gym membership card. Then you maybe pay for the full year at once. But if you want to use it for, let's say, a massage, then you can only use 100 euros per occasion. Often you buy one massage for each time, so then you can only use 100 per occasion. But if you would buy a membership card for let's say, a gym, then you can use up to 500. But it's up to every organization for themselves to decide. And when it comes to the wellness grant, it has to be offered to the whole staff. So inclusion, no one is excluded. It has to be offered to the whole staff, even if it's 500, 5,000. Everyone should have the same benefits when it comes to the Swedish tax agency's rules. And you can't use it to just get cash. You have to do something in return. And that is submitting some type of certificate, maybe a receipt from your gym stating, I bought this, submit it, and then you get the payment on your next paycheck. So often you will hand it in to your CEO, the payroll officer, or the HR, depending on the size of the company. So hand in the receipt, and then you will get the payment back. And then the company can use that as a tax-free benefit. You might wonder, okay, Pio, but what types of activities are then approved? It's a really good question because that has been expanding from year to year. And up until 2021, the Swedish tax agency on their website had a list of approved activities that you could use your wellness grant for. It has now been removed, so from this year, it's up to every company for themselves to decide if an employee can use their wellness grant for an activity or not. Why that is because it was two different cases in the Swedish court judging in favor for the employees. In this case, it says one employee wanted to use their wellness grant. Remember, it's for proactive health, for a racetrack horse course, an education in racetrack horsing. And another one wanted to use it for Western shooting. And this type of cases, the court judged in favor for the employee, and the Swedish tax agency said, okay, we have had a good list. Now we can see that things are evolving. Now we recommend every company to decide for themselves. But the list up till then was, as I think you can imagine, mainly focused on massage. You could use it for a gym membership card. You could use it for group training class, maybe playing paddle, football, going sailing. You can use it for even sport fishing and actually paintball. And what happened in 2018, and this is especially interesting for our common sector, was that personal training was added to the list. Up until then, you couldn't actually, get by with using your wellness. You couldn't use it for personal training. So if you would buy a personal training session, hand in the receipt, often the company would say, no, we can't use it because it's not on the list. But in 2018, it was added, which was, of course, hugely beneficial for our sector, helping more people to get the benefits of personal training and also helping expanding the work for personal trainers, getting access to more clients, and those clients get more benefits from being physically active. So it was real good. And as I said, from this year, we don't have a list. Now it's up to every company for themselves decide, but more or less every company has a good way of handling those questions and know what type of activities that are approved, and that is proactive health. That is what you can use it for. And I wanted to share how it looked last year, because we've all been living in this pandemic. And of course, it has affected our behaviors and habits around physical activity. So what you can see here is that it hasn't just been focused on our physical well-being. You can actually use the wellness grant for digital platforms, online training, as well as smartphone applications. So these are the top 10, which has been favored in Sweden last year in 2021. And these are based on a survey of 600,000 Swedish employees, and that were stating what have you used your wellness grant for. And as you can see here, we have the top is massage, we have gym, group fitness, feet care, swimming classes, proactive health screening. In Sweden, proactive health screening has been a really hot trend, taking blood sugar, blood pressure and such in a proactive manner to help maneuver your health in a proactive way. So that is one thing that has sailed up to the top list. But also you can find paddle, golf, weight management has been one of the tops as well. And you can also see online classes and yoga. So we have a good mix of both mental health and physical health, and those tend often to go hand in hand. But what is good to know is that you can use it for something you can actually grab a hold of, like personal training, swimming, a gym membership card. We can also use it for an online wellness application. For me, example, I've used it for a mindfulness app, which was totally okay, promoting my mental well-being, helping me being focused today, talking to you. So that has been two segments that is good to know of. So you can use a wellness grant up to 500 per year. You can use it for proactive health. It's decided for every company if they want to use it, offer it, and to what amount. And then you can use it for that type of service that fits your needs. But one other thing that I wanted to share with you today is that we also see that the benefits that companies are offering their employees have also a big effect on their employer branding, their brand towards new talents and towards the ones working with them. And what is also good to know here is when looking at an HR tech company called Benify, which is working here in the Nordic European Union region, they say that in their survey, they see that health and wellness has been more or less subscribing to the top 3 list of what type of benefits employees want in their next job. And they also saw that almost 9 out of 10 said that I am prepared to change job if I get better benefits from another company. So in Sweden, using wellness as a way to attract new employees and to make the ones they are present at the company stay has been something that has been a growing trend. And according to LinkedIn, we can also see that employees feeling cared for at work, they are 3.2 times more happy at work, and they are 3.7 times more prone to recommend working for that company. So more companies see that we can also use the benefits not just to take care of our employees, making them feeling better, performing better at the workplace and back home, but also being more attractive as an employer brand. But as I said in the beginning, when it comes to working with humans, we all face different challenges. We all have our history. And we all know someone struggling with their mental and physical well-being. And looking at Sweden today, because even though we have the wellness grant, we still have work to do. We still have to put in the work every day. And we as a common sector, we have great opportunities helping more people. And one survey from the Weight Watchers here in Sweden, looking at why do you not use the, if you have a wellness grant, do you use it? Well, 24% say, I don't take advantage of it. And another survey from one of the biggest chains in Sweden called Fiscais and Svettis, saying that 46% of the Swedish population, they train once a month or never. So here we have a huge opportunity helping more people. And when looking at people who not take advantage of their wellness grant and the key reasons why, we find those three. And here we as a sector working with public health and within the fitness and health industry, we have really good opportunities helping more people because it seems like knowledge, insights and motivations are key. Because 31% saying, I don't use the wellness grant because I don't feel any motivation doing so. I'm not motivated in putting that effort to get those benefits of physical activity. 21% saying, well, I don't know what to use it for. And 20% saying, well, I don't have time. Finding solutions to help more people prioritizing their greatest asset, which is their health. Because without health, nothing happens. Without energy, nothing happens. And if I don't take care of myself, how can I show up, help my community, help my company, help my family, friends, and the things I love in my life? So prioritizing our health is truly vital. So we as a common sector can really help people with the motivation and ways to find suitable and long-term approaches and solutions when it comes to prioritizing and promoting physical activity. I know you in Portugal putting in a lot of work in promoting the national program for active workplaces and active travel to work. And this is could be one additional tool in that toolbox, because we always have to approach it on a local basis, but this is how we have done in Sweden. And since we have challenges, but we also have opportunities. And I wanted to finish off with talking about the opportunities. One case was stated, this is actually from the hometown of both me and Eleiko here in Halmstad on the southwest coast of Sweden. What they did here was they did a case study on home care administration center. And what they did was they looked at, okay, how are we right now? What's the different KPIs we're working with when it comes to sick leave? And what they saw was that the health rate at this administration center was 11%. And that means 11% of the employees were going 1 year without no sick days. That means 89% had sick days during that year. So they had their target, okay, we want to adjust that. We want to help more people not being home from work, feeling pain, going to rehab and different health problems. And of course, working at a home care administration center, you often work night, you have heavy lifting in awkward positions with the elderly. So here was a good way to actually help more people. So what they did during this year, well, they started off with focusing on interviews with all the employees, setting up health goals. They introduced walking to their schedule and the wellness hour, where they went to the gym. Because a good mix of both strength and cardio, it often helps. And they also saw the benefits of it. After a year, the health rate was 32%. The next year, it was 40%. So you could imagine that those people working there got both a better life quality, and the ones they were taking care of, I think they were feeling better as well. So this is one good example of when the wellness grant actually does help. So of course we have challenges, but we also see that when we have leadership in place, when we are focusing long term, when we have a strategic approach, and when we can communicate to the ones needing it, we can see that results can happen. And we all know that physical activity is a tremendous way of getting health benefits. And I think this is just an amazing study I wanted to share with you today, just to get more inspiration and motivation around this, because we can do so much for our human beings around us. And this study was done on 34,000 people during 3 years. And what they saw was that there was one domino that when you put that down, a lot more was falling into place as well. And the first domino, as you can imagine, was the physical activity habit. In this case, they saw that when people implemented physical activity, more or less everything else when it comes to their overall health status became better. They started to eat more fruits and vegetables, their sedentary time was reduced, many people started to drink less alcohol, and of course, with that reduced stress, their health was improved. So when implementing physical activity, there's great evidence today showing that this have a good effect on other health parameters. That is why we're all doing such an important work. And I wanted to end off today's session and this keynote today at your Congress with 4 different ideas of how we see that our common industry can help more people. And as I said before, when leadership is at place, we see that effects are going into place. We have a lot of different examples from all around Sweden where we have an active CEO, active HR, where they are highly engaged in the health strategy and in the daily work. We see that leadership is one key thing. I think we all have a role model, we have a parent, we maybe are parents. For me, my key reason being physically active, taking care of my health, is to be a superhero for my son. If he wants to play football, I want to jump in right away, no matter what. That is my key reason why I want to be physically active. And we all have different ways of why, and we all have different role models helping us to do so. And often we're not always doing what we're told, we do what our role models do. That is true, I think, for everyone. Our CEO here is truly active in our health strategy, helping to promote the benefits of an active company. So when leadership are at place, things are starting to go in the right direction. Also, when we can help our customers creating long-term plans with sustainable solutions, that is also one key area we see help companies introducing the wellness grant and getting the benefits of physical activity. Because when we have a good plan and with sustainable solutions, we can see that it can be done. There's a lot of great examples from when that has happened. And number 3 is to help with target content towards the target groups that need it the most. So talking to the persons lacking motivation, insights, struggling to find the time in a way that they can respond to and feel, okay, this is aligned with me. I feel this struggle and this is how I can use it. Today we have growing examples of people using online training at the corporate, in the corporate world, at home, how they can use it in the gym, personal training, taking and expanding their boundaries and working outside. There's a lot of different ways to do it, but a wellness grant can be used when it also is targeted towards the ones who need to hear it. And of course, also working and showing the economical upside with working with health as an investment, because it's truly an investment. But as with every investment, we have to have a long-term approach. According to Johns Hopkins University in America, they say that you have a return of investment when it comes to proactive health on 3 to 1. That means if I invest €1, I will probably get 3 back. Those I can grow my company with, I can provide to my society. So when focusing on the greatest asset, we both help the individual and the society thriving. Once again, I'm really honored in having this opportunity because there's a growing number of research showing how effective promoting physical health is. And of course, this is one tool you can use in Portugal to other tools helping and promoting the physical activity in your country. Today, McKinsey says that approximately 5% of the European Union's budget is focused on proactive health. And we can all do things and help more people promoting the physical health. And this is one way to do it. Once again, I'm really honored in having this opportunity. Here you can find my contacts and learn more about the Wellness Grant at our National Association's webpage. And once again, obrigado.